Right friends, welcome back to True False series. This is the third module. As I have already told you, we are going to have total 10 modules in this series, and this is the third module. Let us look at the first question. Inactive money which does not contribute to the economy and loses its value gradually due to inflation is known as barren money or idle money. The given sentence is absolutely correct. If you are keeping money below the mattress, if you are keeping money below the mattress, or if you are keeping money inside the almirah for around 3 to 4 years, and if you take out those notes after 4 years, you will be the loser, because due to the inflation, purchasing power of rupee will decrease day by day. Due to inflation, purchasing power of rupee will decrease day by day, and if you are keeping the money inside the almirah or below the mattress, and if you take out after some time, you are the real loser. So, do not keep money like that and bring the money into the financial system. If you want to invest in mutual funds, you invest. If you want to invest in shares, you invest. If you want to deposit in fixed deposits, you fixed deposit. At the same time, if you want to keep some money for emergencies, put it in demand deposits like savings bank account deposit. Do not keep it idle, because it loses its value if you keep it idle and bring it into the financial system. If you keep idle, it is known as idle money or barren money. Please do not forget. Look at the second sentence. Ultimately, globalization refers to increased unification of world's economic order by reducing trade barriers. Unification of world's economic order. That means unification of economic activity across the world with as minimum barriers as possible. Please do not forget, some barriers may be required, because to protect particular economic activity in a country, but the barriers should be as minimum as possible. Ultimate aim of globalization is to unify the entire global financial system or economic activity with the least possible barriers. That is the meaning of globalization. So, the given sentence here is absolutely correct. Let us look at the next sentence. A steep increase in direct taxation will lead to demand pull inflation. Absolutely wrong sentence. A steep increase in direct taxation. If government increases taxes, what will happen? You are required to pay more money to the government. If the taxes are increased, you are required to pay more money to the government. Then less money will be left over with you for spending. If you are paying more taxes, then less money is left over with you for spending or consumption expenditure. Under such circumstances, what will happen? Because you are not able to spend much, demand will not be there. If demand is not there, then ultimately inflation will not be there. So, demand pull inflation, this is one type of inflation. There are several types of inflations. I am not going into all the details. Demand pull inflation is basically the inflation as a result of more demand. More demand is possible when people are able to spend more, or government spends more expenditure. Under those circumstances, it leads to demand pull inflation. When the taxes are increased, people have less money to spend. That is why demand will be reduced. It will not lead to demand pull inflation. So, how to correct this sentence? To correct this sentence is decrease in taxes will result in demand pull inflation. Please do not forget, when the tax rates are decreased or when government spends more, then ultimately demand pull inflation will be there. Right? When taxes are reduced, then people will have propensity to spend more money, then demand pull inflation will be created, then demand will be there for goods, right. So, the right sentence here is decrease in taxes will lead to demand pull inflation. Please understand carefully. Look into the next sentence. Due to the tight monetary policy, tight monetary policy or having less money in circulation in the market. Tight monetary policy means interest rates will be increased, money circulation in the market will be reduced. That is tight monetary policy, or sometimes you call it a hawkish monetary policy. Hawkish monetary policy is tight monetary policy. So, in case of hawkish monetary policy, money in circulation will be reduced, interest rates will increase. For the bonds which are traded in the market, yields will increase. As we have already discussed in previous classes, yields will be increased when bond prices are reduced. These are the instruments which are traded in the market. These bonds are traded in the market. When the prices are reduced, yield will be increased. So, the given sentence here is correct. Due to the tight monetary policy, bond prices will fall and yields will increase. Right friends, look into the next sentence. Increasing repo and reverse repo rates in the economy is to check inflationary pressures in the economy. When inflation is there, because government has to strike a balance between inflation and growth. Government in any country has to strike a balance between inflation and growth. If inflation is more, growth will reduce. If growth is more, then inflation will also increase. It is a complex parameter between growth and inflation, but government has to strike a balance between growth and inflation, GDP rates as well as inflation. Here the given sentence is increasing repo and reverse repo rates. What is repo rate? Repo rate is the signal given to the market about the short term interest rates. Repo rate is the signal given by the Reserve Bank of India during its monetary policy to the market indicating short term interest rates. Right? When the short term interest rates are increased, then what will happen? Money circulation will be reduced. When the short term interest rates are increased, money circulation will be reduced. Ultimately, it will result in less demand and inflationary pressures will be reduced. So, when inflation is there in the market, in the country, when inflation is there, when inflation is more, when inflationary pressure is there, then what the governments will do, what our Reserve Bank will do? The Reserve Bank will try to increase the repo rate. When inflationary trends are there in the country, Reserve Bank will try to increase repo rates, but it will affect growth. That's why I have already told you RBI has to strike a balance between growth as well as inflation. It is not an easy task, it is a complex exercise. When they reduce interest rates, growth will be there, but inflation will be there. If they increase interest rates, inflation will be reduced, but at the same time growth will also be reduced, which ultimately will lead to unemployment, raising unemployment levels. So, judiciously Reserve Bank of India has to strike a balance between inflation and growth. Please don't forget, right? Look into the next sentence. When people are willing to work but do not get work, it is known as open unemployment. You should know about various types of unemployment. When people are willing to work, to take up certain jobs, people are available, but jobs are not available. That is open unemployment. People are willing to work, but there are no jobs in the country. That is open unemployment. What is cyclical unemployment? Due to the economic downturn, because economic cycle has got 4 stages. Sometimes growth will be there, then fall will be there, again growth will be there. Like that, economy will go from one cycle to other cycle. In times of downturn of the economy, the resultant unemployment is called cyclical unemployment. In cases of recession or depression, people lose jobs. That is cyclical unemployment. Another type is frictional unemployment. If one person is leaving one company, joining another company, that stopgap unemployment is called frictional unemployment. Other one is structural unemployment, when due to technological innovation people are losing jobs. Due to the technological innovation, due to the disruptive innovation, when people are losing jobs, that is called structural unemployment. So, have clarity about open unemployment, cyclical unemployment, structural unemployment and frictional unemployment. Right friends, look into the next sentence. Euroclear is the world's largest security settlement system and India is planning to join it. Euroclear is the Belgium based largest international central security depository system. It transacts securities of around 90 countries. It clears securities of around 90 countries. It is Belgium based. That is Euroclear. India is planning to join it. This is the right sentence. Right friends, look into the next one. The tax on imports and exports is known as customs duty. Please don't forget, imports and exports, they may be taxed. Some people have got misnomer that only imports will be taxed. Sometimes the exports will be taxed. So, this taxes on imports as well as exports collectively is known as customs duty. Right? Please look into the next sentence. RBI was nationalized on 1st April 1949. The given sentence is absolutely wrong. RBI was established on 1st April 1935 and nationalized on 1st January 1949. RBI was nationalized on 1st January 1949 but was established on 1st April 1935. Please don't forget. Look into the next sentence. As per the Companies Act 2013, the maximum age for retirement in the private sector companies as MD or CEO is 70 years. As per the Companies Act, a person can continue to be MD or CEO up to the age of 70 years. Please don't forget. Right friends, look into the next sentence. Bank should allow self-attested copies of the documents of the customer sent by post or mail for periodic verification of KYC. If the customer is categorized as low risk, absolutely right sentence. Here, periodical verification of know your customer norms will be there. In the banking system, periodical verification of know your customer norms will be there. Bank customers are categorized as low risk, medium risk and high risk. Low risk customers have to go for periodical verification once in 10 years. Medium risk customers once in 8 years. High risk customers once in 2 years. If you are an ordinary citizen having fixed deposit or savings bank account deposit, you will be categorized as a low risk customer and once in 10 years banks will do KYC verification and for that you can send the documents by mail or by post, right. So, banks will allow attested copies of the documents for periodical verification of the customer when the customer is categorized as low risk. The given sentence is right sentence. Small banks can lend to small businesses, whereas the payment banks are for remittances and deposit purposes. These two types of banks with the minimum capital requirement of 100 crores of rupees, right. Look into the next sentence. Now the timeline for implementing Basel III norms. Basel III norms basically for risk management. They have given several norms like what should be the capital adequacy ratio, what should be the liquidity coverage ratio, when to ensure LCR, what should be the net stable funding ratio. These are as per Basel III norms, basically for risk management. How much money is required by the banks to run operations on monthly basis? How much money is required to run the banks on yearly basis? And at the same time, how much capital is required to run the bank risk free. So, these are the stipulations laid down under Basel norms, and Basel norms are to be implemented by 31st March of 2019. Please don't forget. So, the given sentence is wrong. Please correct it as 31st March 2019. Look into the next sentence. AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, headquarters in Beijing, whereas the BRICS proposed new development bank will be headquartered in Shanghai. Headquarters of AIIB, touted to be the rival for World Bank as well as Asian Development Bank, will be in Beijing, right? Headquarters will be in Beijing, and it is touted to be the rival for World Bank as well as Asian Development Bank. Please don't forget. So, the given sentence here is right. Lending money for 1 day is call money, whereas lending money for 2 to 14 days is notice money. This is the short term interest market. If some bank wants some money for 1 day, for 2 days, for 3 days, they have to borrow from the market. They can borrow from RBI under liquidity adjustment facility. That is the first line of defense. If they require money on day-to-day basis for short term, they can borrow money from Reserve Bank of India at repo rate. Still they require more money, they can borrow under marginal standing facility from Reserve Bank of India at a little higher rate. Still they require money, they can borrow from some bank or financial institution. That is called call money rate. Call money is for 1 day and notice money is for 2 to 14 days, borrowing money for short term, because banks cannot anticipate how much money their depositors are withdrawing today and how much money they are withdrawing tomorrow. No one knows in advance. That is why for short term lending, different mechanisms are given. LIF is given by Reserve Bank of India, marginal standing facility was given by Reserve Bank of India since 2011, and subsequently if these two arrangements are also used, and the banks can go and borrow from the adjacent banks or financial institutions, right friends. So, the given sentence here is absolutely correct. Look into the next sentence. CRISIL should be approached to get credit history of a company. Your entire credit history, you have taken loans previously, whether you are paying monthly or not, whether you are a defaulted person, entire history will be available with the CIBIL, not CRISIL. CRISIL is credit rating agency. CIBIL, Credit Information Bureau of India Limited, CIBIL. CIBIL maintains credit history of the person. If you are approaching a bank for loan, then they will go into your past history. Looking at the past history provided by CIBIL, they will grant you loan again. If past history says this fellow is a defaulter, you don't get loan. CIBIL is the agency which maintains a past history. So, the given sentence is wrong. Please correct it. Correct answer is CIBIL. Hawala transactions are banned under FRBM Act 2003. What is FRBM Act? FRBM Act is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, it looks at fiscal deficit. What should be the fiscal deficit? Up to what extent can we allow the gap between expenditure and revenue? That is FRBM Act. But what is Hawala transaction? Hawala transaction is basically, it will not involve physical movement of money. If you are giving 100 crores of money to a person who is into Hawala transactions in Bombay, he will hand over that money in Dubai. That money will not physically move. They have got worldwide network. If you hand over 100 crores in Bombay, he will deliver 90 crores in Dubai. If you have black money of 100 crores of rupees, if you give 100 crores of rupees to a Hawala transaction person, to a person who is transacting Hawala in Mumbai, 100 crores of rupees, he will hand over probably 90 crores in Dubai to a nominated person to whom you want to deliver. But by taking commission, they will take 10%, 20% or 5% commission, money will not move physically. you hand over at one place, and by taking commission, amount will be delivered at the required place. Why people use Hawala route? Because black money cannot be transferred through ordinary financial channels, banking system or other financial instruments. They cannot invest, because black money, if they bring it into the regular financial system, they have to answer several questions, right? So, Hawala route is one of the routes for transferring black money, and Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999 looks into Hawala transactions. FRBM Act 2003 looks at fiscal deficit. What should be the fiscal deficit? Right friends, look into the next one. Reverse mortgage scheme is applicable for persons below poverty line. This is absolutely wrong. Reverse mortgage scheme is meant for senior citizens. Senior citizens who are above 60 years of age, they have one fixed property, they have one big house, but no income. Then they will mortgage that house to the bank and will get regular income every month. After the expiry of the person, after the death of the person, bank will sell this property and get back the loan, whatever is given to the elderly person. This is a reverse mortgage scheme. Reverse mortgage scheme is meant for senior citizens who have fixed property but no regular income. Right friends? So, please correct it. The sentence here is senior citizens. Reverse mortgage scheme is applicable for senior citizens. For fixed deposits, KYC norms are not applicable is absolutely wrong. For whatever the type of deposit, KYC norms is a must. Whether it is savings account deposit, current account deposit, fixed deposit, recurring deposit, bulk deposit, KYC is a must. Right friends, look into the next sentence. Commercial paper was introduced in India in 1989. Absolutely wrong. Certificate of deposit was issued in 1989. Commercial paper was issued in 1990. Commercial paper was introduced in 1990. Certificate of deposit was introduced in 1989. When banks want some loan from market for short term, banks want some money for short term from market, they issue certificate of deposit and borrow money from public. That is certificate of deposit, introduced in 1989. Commercial paper, if a big corporate company wants money from market, they will issue commercial paper and collect money from market. So, please correct this sentence. Commercial paper was introduced in India in 1990. Banking Ombudsman scheme was started in 1998 is absolutely wrong. The right answer here is 1995. Banking Ombudsman is the person who looks into complaints of the customers. This scheme was started in 1995, appointed by the Reserve Bank of India. Ombudsman is in the capacity of either GM or CGM. And Ombudsman can give award up to maximum rupees 10 lakhs for normal complaints, and if the complaint relate to credit card, maximum compensation will be rupees 1 lakh. Please friends, look into the next one. Bridge financing will help in bridging the gap between rich and poor. Absolutely wrong. Bridge financing is short term finance. Bridge finance is short term finance required by corporates. They are going to start a company. They are going to expand the company. Meanwhile, they require money for short duration of 6 months, maybe 1 year. Under those circumstances, they will take some stopgap loan, that is known as bridge loan or bridge finance. Bridge finance is basically for short term, taken by corporates. Please correct this sentence. Financing to corporates in the interim period is known as bridge finance. Look into the last sentence of this module. Kisan Call Center is to provide consultancy services related to agriculture. It is absolutely right sentence. Kisan Call Center was started, and in many Indian languages you can get information with regard to various crops, and Kisan Call Center pertains to consultancy services related to agriculture. Right? Let us conclude the third module. Please do join for fourth module. Have a nice day. Thank you.